Second feature that I really appreciated was the quality of professors. Every professor is handpicked by the program director, and they're chosen specifically because not only do they have a lot of academic experience and academic qualifications, but they're also very well practiced in what they do. So anytime I took a class with a psychology professor, it was always someone who also had a clinical practice, had worked in a hospital setting. And anytime I had a class with a business professor, it was always with someone who had management experience, who had worked for companies like Google and Oracle and places like that.
Because there's only 26 of us in a cohort that went to school every day together for 2 years. So we got to really bond with all our classmates and go through the program and all graduate together.
I was really intrigued by the 2-year degree completion program. I know that when you finish a degree in other places, it often is difficult to get the classes that you need. With the PAU undergraduate program, my schedule was already set, so I was able to plan my time over those 2 years. I knew I would get my degree on time, and I knew I could move on from there.
One of my challenges was finding a program that worked with my schedule at work so that I could keep working, but that would offer a quality education. So I liked the undergraduate programs because they were well-rounded and focused, and they offered really quality education. The flexibility of the hybrid options with the evening and the online programs was great.
It was definitely new in that it was a cohort model, and so it was just a few of us in the same class, and I really enjoyed getting to know all of my classmates, and we were always there for each other and able to help each other with everything. And if I missed class, one day somebody would call me and be like, "Hey, where are you at?" And they would make sure that I was caught up, and I would do the same for them. So it was like a family system. It was great. I really liked that everything was so accessible at school, so that I was able to get any kind of campus resource, or I was able to get the attention of faculty or staff whenever I needed, at a moment's notice.
I also really liked the internship feature. With the internship being a part of the program, I was able to intertwine it into my studies and use that with the projects that I do. I also knew that because it was part of the program, I'd be getting work experience, and I'd be able to use that later on my resume when I applied to jobs.
Well, I've always been really interested in psychology, but the undergraduate program at PAU offered classes that also incorporated features of sociology, cultural, and political influences on the way that people behave, think, and feel. So that was really important to me. I was also really compelled by the 2-year degree program. I knew that I wouldn't lose time waiting to get into certain classes that were required, that the schedule would be set for me, I would get the classes I needed and get my degree on time.
And I got to do many different activities while I was there. I did student council, and I was part of several committees, and being part of those really helped me come to my own and really figure out what I wanted for my professional sense of purpose.
The classes are all pre-selected, so there's no wait lists, there's no late registrations, and there's really no late graduations, because a lot of times students have to put off graduation because they can't register for certain classes that they need to graduate. And that could be a real tragedy. You can end up spending a lot of extra time just to graduate because of one class. So I really appreciated that the courses were already pre-scheduled and predetermined. So as long as you do what you need to do in each class, you're in and out in 2 years.
So I was already working while in the program as a police officer. So being a part of the program was, the biggest goal was to help enhance the job that I already do. And I have a deep interest in psychology, and I was looking for more ways to integrate that into my work. And I couldn't have imagined how much I would use it after I graduated, but I found lots of ways. I already had the pieces in front of me, and my education has helped me put those pieces together and create more.
During my senior year as an undergraduate, I decided that I was really interested in a career in psychology. So I applied to the PhD program at PAU. And I'm currently a third-year PhD student in the Diversity and Community Mental Health tract in the doctoral program there. I found that I didn't even realize how much I had learned from the undergraduate program until I started taking the really advanced courses. I had a really solid solid foundation in the social sciences in general and in psychology specifically. So I felt really well prepared there. In addition, my program in psychology and social action as an undergrad allows for a one-year internship in a community agency. So I already had a year's worth of service that has really helped open doors for me in terms of the clinical training that I need now as I aspire toward a doctoral degree.
So after PAU, my job experience was really positive. Within the first month of graduation, I was already working. I had my first position at Palo Alto University, and I was able to help them develop a new bachelor's degree program in psychology of entrepreneurship. After the first job, within 3 months after that, I received my second position at a consulting firm working with emotional intelligence and coaching executives and helping them kind of develop their emotional intelligence and develop their stress management capabilities. So within the first 4 months, I already had 2 positions that were directly related to my degree.
I realized through the courses that I wanted to become a therapist, and so I decided to join back at PAU, their Master's of Counseling Psychology program. And so now I'm on track to become a licensed marriage and family therapist and professional clinical counselor.
So the first job that I got after I graduated from Palo Alto University was a LIRA specialist at Cal Water. So basically I was a low income rate assistance specialist at Cal Water, and the customers that I worked with were basically low income, elderly, or disabled. These were populations that I had already studied while I was in the program and focused on, as well as doing my internship where I did get to work with these people as well.
It would be that you get out what you put into this program. The undergraduate programs are located on different campuses in the Bay Area, but PAU is a large school with many degree programs. So there are all sorts of opportunities to interact with licensed professionals, researchers who are world-class, students who are working on their doctoral degrees, master's degrees, and other undergraduate degrees. So the more you involve yourself in the school, the more people you know, the more connections you can make, and the more you get out of it.
I would say that education is a worthy sacrifice. It's an investment in yourself and in your future. You can come up with lots of excuses why not to do it or put it off, but it's going to open up a lot of doors for yourself. So I would encourage anyone to look into the programs.
I would definitely pass on the fact that Palo Alto University has so much to offer students for any kind of opportunity that you want or need. If you want to start your own club, if you want to be president of the student council, it's so easy to just jump right in there and make it happen. I like to call it, the big fish in the small pond. You're able to just put yourself out there, maybe even make a little business plan for them, and just tell them, hey, I think that this is a really good idea. I think we should do this. We should start this event. And, people will be right there with you and try and help you out. And that's the great thing about this university.
I would say to utilize the tools that they give you 100%. So you'll get a lot of one-on-one work when you're here at PAU because we have a small class size. So you'll be able to work with your professors and get a lot of information that isn't just textbook information. You'll get stuff that they actually do in their profession because they're not only teaching, they're also doing private practice and that kind of and research themselves. So you should use that.
To students who are interested in attending PAU, I would say just reach out. Reach out to someone, make contact with the university. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I remember the first time I reached out, I was able to speak with the program director of all the undergraduate programs at Palo Alto University. And that was really important to me because a lot of other schools, you get a generic email or maybe a week later someone will reach out to you and they're really busy and they only have a few minutes on the phone. I was able to meet directly with the program director and have a face-to-face conversation, which was really important to me. Definitely reach out, and also feel free to sit in on some classes. Palo Alto University, because it's a private school, there's not a lot of bureaucracy and things like that. They can really adapt their system to you. So a lot of times students who are interested, teachers will open up their classroom and allow students to sit in, and then that way you can really experience the difference in teaching, the difference in learning that takes place at Palo Alto University.